Guess what? Guess who's back? It's your girl, Ashley Alexander. I've been gone for some time. I can obviously explain. But first and more importantly, I have to make sure to tell you this before anything else. I am presently sitting at home in the midst of a quarantine my state is instating for the sake of coronavirus. So before I get into anything, please, 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 wash your hands. Do not touch your face, nose, eyes, ears, or mouth with dirty hands. And please keep your contact from other people a pretty decent distance. In fact, if you can stay in the house for the next week, I advise that you do so. So, now that we're here and we're back, the only way you would get me back on YouTube is for Donald Glover. Notice what I said. It's an end of an era, you guys. So let's just get to it. Jay Electronica dropped an album on me in the middle of this, and now Childish Gambino has. But I guess we can't say that anymore because it is officially Donald Glover. And I'm here to talk about the project Donald Glover Presents. But I have to actually give this some context because I've been doing this specific review a very, very long time. So, first and foremost, I've been a fan since Cul-de-sac, I'm Just a Rapper, 1 and 2, the mixtapes, Royalty, the whole 9. And obviously, there's a whole new fan base that's come over time since Camp, Because the Internet, Awaken My Love, and onward to This Is America and the like. So it's only fair because I always do the reviews on Childish Gambino. I do them. I've done every album cycle. I have done every tour. And I have been to all of them. I am the one for this. So let's just get to it. So first and foremost, I have to make sure to say, no more calling him Childish Gambino. It's over. We're done. He's done. It's Donald Glover. We're just gonna have to stick with it, okay? Change is necessary. Now, back to it. So one of the things that's important to say is I've had the extremely great fortune in the time that I've been here on this planet to see all different types of concerts all over the place. And in the recent year, I've had the opportunity to catch the actual This Is America tour in a variety of different spaces. So I've seen it at Coachella when he headlined, which was amazing. I've also caught it at Broccoli City in DC, which is near my home, and was the best. I had the best time there. I knew a whole audience of people probably came for Lil Wayne, but walked out really excited that they saw Childish Gambino at the time. And I also caught various dates of the This Is America tour, which I love. I had the best time every time that I went, and I waited an extremely long time for this guy to get to an arena. I mean, 12, 13 years later, I can't be happier for this guy. So, out of nowhere, a night or so ago, in true fashion, he drops an album and probably kept it up for maybe 12 hours, and now we're here. So, I don't know how many people have heard it. I know there's plenty of places you can find it, but I have to make sure to give you the reviews on it, in my opinion. So, if you had gone to any of the shows, any show date, you would have already heard Why Go to the Party, Feels Like Summer, Warlords, and Algorithm, which for me at the live show, Warlords is absolutely my favorite. It's probably one of my favorite parts of the show, and it was the part I don't think I saw coming. So I'm excited to have it on an album where I can hear it better, you know, with headphones and clearly hear what's going on versus seeing it with thousands of people. And outside of that, though, I am kind of curious if he was going to add Feels Like Summer, why he didn't add Summertime Magic, for the sake of if you're just going to put the Summer Pack on it. And the Summer Pack was the two single EPs that came out. So if you're going to end up doing it, I don't know why he didn't add it. But it doesn't really matter because the actual flow of the album feels like summer leading into the rest of the track listing. It actually has a better flow to it. Now, really quick and a little bit of history on me. I always have to give the kudos and thank yous to NERD because that is the band that made sure that I paid attention to a song all the way through. Because if you don't, you'll miss stuff that's at the end or hidden past it and all of that. And I say it now because on this new Donald Glover project, if you don't go all the way through it, like Littlefoot, Thank You, Vibrate, you're gonna miss an entire piece that's at the second half of it that knocks, like straight up knocks. In comparison to the other albums, if you've actually listened to them all or you're a fan and all that good stuff, you'll pay attention to the evolution of how this has gone. It's gotten a lot more electronic as time has gone by. It's gotten a lot more synthesized vocally. There's been a lot more range in his vocals as time has gone by. So for me, I was interested to see where this one was gonna go because I wasn't sure if it was just gonna be songs that were supposed to be on the previous work on Awaken My Love, and didn't cut it, or after some time and after the craze of This Is America, this is where we're at. Because now we're at a place where he's really a mouthpiece for the societal awareness for, you know, a group of people. And that's a big responsibility to hold up. And I feel like Feels Like Summer, especially with the music video, was a really translatable thing. And I think that he has a really good method with it. So for this album, there's songs on it that are very reminiscent of like Prince vocals and Prince synth. There's other ones that are very lyrical and very endearing, like a Stevie Wonder song would be. And there's other ones that are, I guess, just a little more poignant and have taken the time to just really add more details and layers to the harmonies and to the vocals to give it a really, really rich kind of sound. If you had gone to the show, one of the things that he said all the time was that he wanted it to kind of feel like church and kind of feel like a space that you can open up in. And I think this is a project and a product after that sentiment. If you actually pay attention to the album cover, I'm really kind of curious. I've been hearing some people say that it's a long enough picture, it's not in color, but it's drawn out. So maybe it's gonna be 4 different album covers, maybe it's the actual album cover and it's not done and therefore it folds and that's the cover, because it says it, you know, like this is the cover, so obviously that would be the back. If you pay attention to a lot of the details that are in it, it really tells an interesting story. So I'm curious to see through the rest of the year how this is gonna play out. So now let's get to actually the songs that I like. So it's only fair for me to remove the songs you already know. So I'm not here to talk about Algorithm. I'm not here to talk about Feels Like Summer. And as much as I want to talk about Why Go to the Party and Warlords, I would imagine you've probably seen it by now via live stream or attending the show yourself. So I'm really here to talk about the songs that are new to all of us now. So one of the songs I really like on the album is Thank You. It's very reminiscent to a Prince song. It's very loving and very endearing. The synth of the vocals is really kind of P-Funk and Prince at the same time. It's kind of reminiscent, if you pay attention, to Redbone in just the sentiment of it. But everything else is very different. And I appreciate that he's figured out how to kind of keep this vocalization a part of the Donald Glover projects. Everybody's gonna be talking about Time featuring Ariana Grande. You know, I think it's a good pop duet. I think the average person is pretty much gonna turn around and sing that one the most. It's extremely catchy. I kind of think it reminds me of like a newer version of 4 Minutes to Save the World, because that's kind of the vibe that they're giving off with it, is the point, is to be as poignant as you can about the state of our world. And I think that's the trend that he's trying to bring to the situation now. I like Beautiful because it's extremely uplifting and it's very positive. Now, I'm not sure if it's for the sake of positive. It feels like it's for the positivity of people of color. Like, you're beautiful, I can't change the truth, and I can't hide it from you either. Or if it's to be said to a child to give them a heads up of what life is for them. They're beautiful no matter what, but I can't tell you what's coming outside of the door. So I'm not sure with that one yet. I feel like I gotta listen to it a little more, but I really, really like it off top. Littlefoot is the best because I like anybody that can take the time to take like a strong country southern kind of thing and flip it on its head. So the fact that he's really talking about flipping yay and moving work, and it's such a uppity, bubbly, you know, communal kind of song. I like the juxtaposition. I like how he figured out how to do it. That's the one I'm actually really excited to see live, because if you ever went to the Deep Web tour and he had the couches and all the friends hanging out and everybody's drinking and chilling like a normal kind of living room party thing, that's the one that feels like it's the same thing. We're just cooking dope in the kitchen. Next song, The Violence. Obviously, most have paid attention to it now because his child is speaking at the end of it, and it is really, really cute. It, to me personally, reminds me of like a song from the band War, which if you don't know who War is, please go check them out. They're great. And I like that, once again, it's all in the vein of what happens after you give the world This Is America. And I think The Violence is a very melodic, very steady go of warning someone of what's to come if you still choose to be blind. And I like at the end that there's a simplistic kindness of just hearing a child talk about who they love and why they love themselves. I personally don't think that the song I'm about to say was gonna be my favorite, but it actually is. I like Vibrate a whole lot. I like Vibrate the most. It's the one I've listened to the most outside of the ones I already knew, but it knocks. And I like the ones that are like full-on stories. So for the fans who like The Worst Guys, for the fans who like, you know, Oakland, maybe not so much sober, maybe a little more like Let Her Home on Camp. The ones that actually have a bit of a real story to it, Lower East Side, that kind of deal. Vibrate is really, really gonna be the one that you like, I personally think. And I like that in the album he's added little hip hop things that if you really like certain artists, it's involved. So like, you know, he does a little bit of the Under 3000 Vibrate in Vibrate. He also talks about OJ the Juice Man in another song, which I always appreciate because whoever really talks about OJ like that, yo, shout outs to you though. I hope you come back with a new single. But anyway, I can't thank you guys enough. If it were up to me, I would make sure that everybody got this album, but you really kind of only had a 12-hour window, but we know how the internet works, so I can guarantee you that you can probably find it on YouTube by now. The most beautiful thing about this is that he's always figured out how to have a really good relationship with the internet because he's done his career kind of with the evolution of technology, especially cell phones and everything else in between. So I guarantee you probably by summertime we'll actually have either the final project of what this is or the next project that comes after it. And if it were a skip it or buy it situation, I would actually get it. I would absolutely buy it. And I am a fan, so of course I would get it regardless. But if I wasn't a fan, yes, I would still buy it. I really think there's some really good features on it. I think it's a really good album to be stuck in the house during a quarantine too, when you can't go anywhere, but you just want good stuff to listen to. And the album has a lot of variety to it. So I advise that you go check it out as well. And before I forget, I have to give an extremely big shout out to From Baltimore with Love for the t-shirt. Please go check them out when you can at www.frombaltimorewithlove. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. There's so many more episodes to come. I'll make sure to leave links underneath for all kinds of things as we go by with this. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I am here to answer. I am kind of curious, actually, what's your favorite song that's on this EP? I can't believe we're doing this again. I mean, this is probably the 6th or 7th time that I've full on done this. And I'll make sure to leave links to the other ones that I've done before. Don't get this twisted. I ran about this a lot. So stay up, stay bright, and stay weird. Wash your hands longer than 20 seconds. And please be compassionate to your neighbor, because that's the only way we're gonna get through this.